In Cobblemon, the average spawn rate of a rare Pokemon is just 1%. But what if you want that Pokemon as a shiny? Your odds drop to 0.00012%. That is 1 in 819,000 Pokemon. Let that sink in. A shiny rare spawn is basically a myth, but not impossible. Shiny hunting is one of the most rewarding and sometimes frustrating ways to play Cobblemon. There's nothing quite like the thrill of a surprise shiny encounter. But what if you're not just after any shiny? What if you're dreaming of a rare one, like Snorlax, Scyther, or Lucario? You have been circling the same mountain for days, no sparkle, no ping, just your lonely tracks in the ground. And you're wondering, is this even possible? Well, you've come to the right video. I'm Callie, the Shiny Empress of the BattleCraft SMP, builder of palaces, collector of sparkles, and queen of tracking down shiny Pokemon in Cobblemon. And today, I'm sharing my favorite strategies for finding and catching shiny rare Pokemon. Now here's the real challenge. Cobblemon doesn't use the shiny hunting methods you're used to from other Pokemon games. There's no shiny charm, no sandwiches, no mass outbreaks, just you, your world, and a whole lot of time. Sure, you could tweak the config files to increase shiny odds. I made a video on this topic, so go check it out once you've watched this one. But that still doesn't guarantee you'll find the specific Pokemon you're looking for. Cobblemon does offer some tools, like Starf Berries, which slightly increase your odds while fishing, and future updates may give us more options. But right now, in Cobblemon 1.6, the hunt is hard, especially if you're going after something rare. That's why it's so important to know how to work with Cobblemon mechanics, so you're not just hoping for luck, but stacking the odds in your favor. And this is where the modded community really steps in. Cobblemon Unchained is the perfect addition to your world, giving you the chance at a guaranteed shiny Pokemon through chaining. With a little luck and a whole lot of patience, this mod created by Team Metcalf lets you focus your efforts on one specific shiny and actually achieve your goal. So how does it work? Cobblemon Unchained doesn't just boost shiny odds, it also increases the chance of hidden abilities and can even guarantee perfect IVs. All of this is done through points you accumulate by knocking out Pokemon, building KO streaks, catching Pokemon, and maintaining capture streaks. If you're aiming for a specific shiny Pokemon, you'll want to build a KO streak of that species. With the base config, once you hit a 500 KO streak, you maxed out the shiny boost from the mod. My very first shiny hunt using this method took a 1024 KO streak before I finally saw a shiny spawn. And yes, that's a lot of Pokemon, but when that shiny finally appeared, 100% worth it. Once you have added Cobblemon Unchained, I'll definitely leave a link down in the description. It's time to move into some practical tips for actually tracking down a shiny rare Pokemon. First, you have to figure out where your target Pokemon spawns most frequently. For example, if you're hunting a shiny Ponyta, while not technically rare, it's an uncommon spawn in savannas, but in the Nether and the Nether Waste biome, it's considered a common spawn. Or take Scyther, it's a rare spawn in forests and hills, but only uncommon in jungles, so knowing the most efficient biome makes a big difference when you're hunting for them. To find out where your target Pokemon spawns, use the Cobblemon wiki. I'll link the full spawn chart below to help you out. Once you know where to go, it's time to gear up and prep your hunting ground. Yes, you could run around in circles hoping for spawns, but that burns through food, puts you at risk for mobs, and wastes energy climbing terrain or getting stuck. Prepping the biome not only makes the hunt smoother, but saves you time in the long run. You'll want to light up the area, but more importantly, clear a path. You don't have to flatten the whole biome, but removing obstacles like trees and holes makes a massive difference. For example, there's a jungle here on the BattleCraft SMP that's been fully cleared of trees and leaves. It makes it so much easier to see Pokemon spawn and way easier to traverse. Currently, I'm hunting for a shiny Riolu in a Stony Peaks biome. Now I don't know about you, but constantly going up and down a mountain isn't my idea of fun. Luckily, a tunnel through the mountain was partially done when I arrived, so I finished it off and built a bridge to create a full loop. Now, I can circle the biome without climbing, which makes the whole process faster and more sustainable. You can also build a minecart track. Make sure it's slow enough for Pokemon to spawn in as you move, but this trick saves tons of food because your character doesn't use energy while riding. I'll sit in the cart, watching the minimap, and when the target Pokemon appears, hop out and continue the streak. Now that your biome is prepped, it's time to get comfy. You might be here a while. Personally, I hunt with shiny odds set to 1 in 6,192. So if I'm looking for a shiny rare spawn, the odds are actually 1 in 619,000. And no, I'm not doing the math on how Cobblemon Unchained altered that. Let's just say it improves your chances a little, but still, it's a commitment. Some things I do while shiny hunting are watching cozy vlogs or movies, drinking hot beverages, editing other videos, working on my second monitor, basically anything chill that lets me keep an eye on the mini-map. Now, one thing to watch for: while you're hunting, you will run into other shiny Pokemon. It happens when you're spending a lot of time in a single biome and constantly loading in spawns. If you're in the middle of a KO streak, don't KO the wrong species, or your streak resets. Same goes for capture streaks. Catching a different Pokemon breaks that streak too. I learned this the hard way, so now I bring boats with me. That way, if I find a shiny that isn't the one I'm targeting, I can trap it in a boat and come back for it later. Simple fix that saves a lot of heartbreak. I've just wrapped up a 2-week shiny hunt for my rare Pokemon of choice, Riolu, and let me tell you, it was a grind. Riolu spawns were few and far between, often with 3 to 5 days between sightings, which made keeping a KO streak going tough. Sure, I wasn't grinding 8 hours a day, but even so, shiny hunting a rare spawn is a serious commitment. This is where all that biome prep and patience really paid off. On the BattleCraft SMP, our Cobblemon Unchained settings are a little bit more forgiving. Max shiny odds kick in at a 250 KO streak instead of the usual 500. And as luck would have it, my Riolu hunt stayed true to that number. At a KO streak of 231, I finally found and caught my very first shiny Riolu. Everything I did beforehand, clearing the biome for easy movement, using a minecart to save time and energy, and sticking to the same spawn area made the hunt smoother and kept me from burning out. In the end, the time and effort were completely worth it. Now, with Riolu checked off the list, it's time for the ultimate shiny hunting challenge, tracking down an ultra rare Pokemon like Tyrant. Shiny hunting in Cobblemon definitely has its challenges, especially since the vanilla mod doesn't offer many built-in ways to boost shiny odds outside of Starfberries. But with Cobblemon Unchained, you get a new layer of control. By chaining your KOs and putting in a bit of prep work, you can target and eventually catch the shiny Pokemon you want. It still takes patience, but it's incredibly rewarding when that sparkle finally appears. What about you? Have you stumbled across any surprise rare shinies in Cobblemon? Or are you planning to give Cobblemon Unchained a try for a more focused shiny hunt? Let me know what Pokemon you're hunting in the comments below, and if you'd like more shiny hunting tips and Cobblemon content, make sure to subscribe and check out the video on screen, where I spent 24 hours shiny hunting. Thanks so much for watching, and best of luck on your next hunt!